Photography is subjective, just like any other art. You might like one thing, whereas someone else has a different opinion. That's quite common, right? But if you're just starting off with photography, how do you know you're not over editing your photos? In this video, I'm going to help you answer just that. What is happening, people? My name is Gorav and I'm a travel and a wedding photographer based in Birmingham, England. A bit of a disclosure, I myself am a victim of over editing. Surprise, a lot of other photographers are too. In fact, I absolutely cringe at my very early photos, and I know many other photographers that feel the same about their work. But the question remains, how do you make sure you're not over editing your photos? Well, in this video, I've broken it down to 3 main things that actually worked for me. So let's just get right into it. So here we are in Adobe Lightroom. In fact, what I'm about to show you, you can actually do on virtually any software or app that you can edit photos on. So don't worry about this too much, because there's so many different types of images out there, like landscape shots, portrait shots, you get the idea. It's virtually impossible for me to over edit them photos and show you what over editing looks like. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips on this already edited image of mine and how I prevent over editing. You see, what can happen is when you're editing, especially if you're new to editing, you can actually go into one of these sliders, you can nudge them forward, and you won't see the difference if you gradually, slowly nudge these sliders forward until you reset them. That's a big difference. I bet you didn't see the subtle changes I was making as I was nudging the slider forward. This is why you need to come back and reset them to see what difference it makes, because only then you'll realize how much impact that particular slider had on your overall image. And that's one of the ways you can stop yourself from over editing your images, is by resetting the sliders to see what the original image looked like. And by all means, you can apply a little bit of effect rather than resetting the slider to 0. So for example, let's just take this black levels here. If I was to reset that, I'm not happy with that look, and I'm certainly not happy with this, let's just say, and I want something in between. You can actually reset the slider and move somewhere in between like this. And that's tip number 1. Revisit your sliders once you've edited your image, because that will help you determine which ones you may have overused. Tip number 2, sleep on it. Don't consider your image edited until the next day, because when you're editing and you're in the moment, everything looks great. There's been many times I've been editing and I had to go out and do something, and when I came back, I just thought to myself, what am I doing with the white balance? Why is it so high? What I'm trying to get at here is, if you're constantly editing, it's easy to get lost. It's a good idea to have a break from time to time and go back with a fresh pair of eyes. Tip number 3, learn from the masters. Now, that doesn't only mean people with 100,000 followers on Instagram, but also like the real OGs of photography, like Ansel Adams, for example, for landscape photography, Steve McCurry for travel photography, Richard Avedon for fashion. Ask yourself, what do I like about their images, and what can I do to get my work to look as good as theirs? So that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you think anybody else would benefit from this kind of material, do go ahead and share this video with them, and I'll catch you in the next one.